Turning to the Middle East, Israeli military forces has continued to shell targets in the northern Gaza Strip. 22 Palestinians were killed Friday night, adding the Palestinian death toll since the beginning of the Israeli offensive to more than 1,100. The strikes resumed shortly after Israel called another 3-hour lull in their offensive to let in aid and allow Palestinians to leave their homes to stock up on basic supplies. Before dawn on Friday, Israeli aircraft struck some 40 targets across Gaza, including smuggling tunnels along the Egyptian border. Rocket launchers and a mosque that housed a tunnel entrance was also used to kill alarms. On the same day, rockets fired from Gaza rained down on southern Israeli towns of Ashdod, Kiryat Gat and Askelon, causing minor injuries. The Israeli Foreign Ministry says the cabinet will convene later Saturday to decide on the Egyptian proposal for a ceasefire in Gaza. The cabinet will examine the result of negotiations with Egyptian officials as a top Israeli envoy returned from Cairo and briefed Defense Minister Ehud Barak on the outcome of the discussions. Based on the examination, the cabinet will decide whether to continue the negotiations or accept the Egyptian proposal as it is. The Israeli Prime Minister's office has reported significant progress had been made during the talks between the Israeli and the Egyptian sides. The emergency summit of Arab nations on the Gaza crisis closed in the Qatari capital of Doha on Friday. Participants issued a joint communique which strongly condemns Israel's invasion of the territory. Gui Xiaozeng has the details.
The joint communique expressed grave concern over the Israel offensive and its killing of innocent civilians in the Gaza Strip. It says Gaza's humanitarian crisis has reached an extremely dangerous state and called for immediate and effective actions to stop it from deteriorating further. The Arab nations taking part in the summit also lashed out at the continuation of the Israeli attacks on the Palestinian enclave, despite UN Resolution 1860 and mounting international pressures. The communique says those responsible for war crimes will be tried under international law. The communique also urged Israel to leave the Gaza Strip unconditionally. It said all the border crossings in Gaza should be reopened to facilitate the flows of food, medicine and humanitarian aid. The communique recommends as well the establishment of an international fund for Gaza's reconstruction. Hamas top political chief, who made a surprise appearance at the meeting, said the Israeli attacks are aimed not only at his organization, but at all the Palestinian people.
Despite all this destruction in Gaza, we will not accept the Israeli conditions for the ceasefire. In short, it's our own free choice to continue the resistance on the ground of Gaza, which hasn't been defeated.
He also asked the participants at the summit to back his movement in its demands, boycott Israel and cut off all ties with the country. Gui Xiaozeng, CCTV.
Also taking part in the emergency meeting, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad said an Arab initiative for peace with Israel is now over. He called on fellow Arab nations to sever all ties with the Jewish state. Bashar said Israel has always ignored Arab nations' peace efforts.
From our own perspective as Arab nations, we have a responsibility to take certain steps, including cutting off relations with Israel, cutting all direct and indirect ties. As with regards to the Arab peace talks, we consider them dead.
On the same day, Qatar and Mauritania froze ties with Israel over the 3-week-old Israeli offensive in Gaza. Qatar says it would ask Israel to close its trade office in Doha and remove its staff until the situation improved. Mauritania has recalled its ambassador to Israel but says it would not deport the Israeli ambassador to the country.